y'all. We're down to one final thing on the list. That's power steering lines, but that's not going to stop me from trying to move it in the driveway. Been thrashing on this thing for about a month or two, so I'm going to try to release these videos in order, but we had to make a little clip of this. It's pretty exciting. We're getting ready to move this thing for the first time. I don't know if y'all stay right there or not. We'll find out. It's kind of shaky. There's reverse. Get her a new parking spot beside old Clifford here. Well, that's a different site for sure. Different parking spot for old Blacksheep. We got a lot to catch up on this project here. We're gonna uncover here and go through the details. Y'all hang around. Gonna give you all the updates, let you know what we got going on. Unless she looks a whole lot different right now. We're gonna start off on these wheels right here. We just painted the factory wheels. We just gave them a quick coat of gloss black, and we had these hubcaps, so we just threw them on there. We ain't even polished them up or nothing. We just washed them with a little soap and water. It still needs tires and all, so it's made it look a little bit better. Okay, to start out, we're going to show you all what we did for the mounting the shifter right here. All we did, we went to Harbor Freight, picked up a cheap $20 ammo can. Picked up a few L brackets and just bent them to contour the floorboard how we need it. Luckily, Lucas got this shifter donated to him from my uncle. Shout out Uncle Dean if you're watching. So it's a Hurst Promatic 2 with the T-handle grip on it. It works out pretty good. For mounting the shifter, it's solid. Raises it up about 8 or 9 inches. Also, it gives me a place. I got a magnetic phone mount that I can mount to right there to keep my phone in easy reach. It still gives us access to the radio, the ashtray, heater controls, so it's not in the way of anything. Besides, whoever might be riding in the middle, they might have to give up a little leg room. But luckily these trucks are pretty wide, so we still got to drive the pin out for the factory shifter. So I already got the wire ran for a tack, we just hadn't picked one up yet, so it's running out to the distributor. It's not hooked up yet. So when we do pick one up, I got the wire already ran for that. We already redid all the gauges. We did that back in the winter time, so they're good to go. Radio's in. We got speakers in the back that we need to make a box for.
There's some more gauges in there.
Yeah, I've showed them gauges before already. We still need to finish painting this floorboard. Probably gonna wait till we get some bed liner and bed line it. Get a new brake pedal cover. Okay, underneath the hood, we ended up having to go with the factory brake booster that came on this truck, which is the big unit. Ended up having to run that valve cover that was bashed in on the back to clear it. So it's really tight, but it clears. The only bad thing about it is that I believe to get this valve cover off, we're going to have to take the brake booster off if you ever need to put a gasket on it. And right now I'm battling a small leak with that gasket right there. I'm hoping that I can tighten it down after it gets some heat in it. Maybe it'll seal up. It's not a major leak, it's just a small leak. So we ended up using the factory brake booster off of this truck. So all the vacuum lines and everything worked just fine for that. Let's see what else. We did a little painting on the grill today. This is probably not the final color combo it's going to end up with. I'm probably going to end up painting the trim gloss black and leaving the centerpiece metallic, like a metallic silver. And then I'll probably do these like a satin, which I got to get some new ones anyways. The last guy that owned this truck painted over everything. He didn't tape off any of the marker lights or anything, and that one's all busted up. We got a new shipment of decals in too. If anybody out there wants one, y'all just drop it in the comments. We'll figure out how to get one out to you. Shout out Sticker Mule. They're pretty good to work with. Great product. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to hook the vacuum gauge up on this thing and see if we can't get this thing dialed in now that we got a shifter hooked up and the brake booster's all hooked up. I can actually put it in gear and hold my foot on the brake and tune it to the highest vacuum. So we'll get started on that. Let me warm this thing up. Okay, I just went through and checked on my idle mixture settings. I got everything set at 1 turn out. So we'll start from there. It was a little rich before, so we'll use that as a baseline. Okay, we're back, y'all. We had a stop and deal with a pesky fuel leak. Well, I believe we got that solved now. She's warmed up. As you can see, it's holding about 16 inches of vacuum. Just by standing here and smelling it, it smells fat, it sounds fat. The idle mixer screws are set at 1 turn out right now. So I'm gonna try to set this vacuum gauge up to where y'all can see it. And I'm gonna take some fuel away from the idle circuit. That should clean up the idle. It'll probably bring the idle up some. And you should see the vacuum rise on the gauge. Anywhere in the green area is where you want to be. right here, the idle come up some. It cleaned up. I took a half a turn out of both front and back out of mixer screws, which is turning them in. That's kind of drastic, but we're gonna see what this other, we're gonna match this other side to it and see what it does. Tip over right there on that one. I went a little bit too far. But as you can see, the vacuum needle's in the green now. That's something about 18 inches of vacuum right now. What you can do to solve the high idle now, you can bring the curb idle down. Now that sounds a whole lot better. The vacuum is still holding steady at, that's about 17. Okay, y'all, we're gonna close this video out here. We took her for a little short test drive, about a mile, maybe a mile and a half down the road. Transmission shifted fine. The shifter cable still needs to be adjusted a little bit on it. I did notice when we pulled back in the driveway that the temperature had done rose to about 210, and it was puking a little bit out of the overflow. So I don't know. We'll have to do some diagnosing on that. I don't know if it's an air pocket in the cooling system somewhere, or if we got a bigger issue or what. But she made it down and back underneath her own power, so that's a good sign. We tried to do a little short pull down there, but the shifter cable wouldn't go down to first gear. So, and then when I stepped on the throttle, we're not getting full throttle, so that throttle cable is not a permanent solution. It's a temporary thing. So we'll get around to fixing that. But all in all, I say it's a pretty good first test drive on a new setup. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this update. Y'all come on back and check us out on the next one. Thanks for watching.